You hear about creative financing real estate, right? But what does it mean? And how do you do it? It's absolutely one of my favorite things about being a real estate investor, as I built my entire rental portfolio and escaped the rat race without ever talking to a bank or getting a bank loan or ever pulling my credit score. And I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. But before I do, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell because I post cool stuff like this each and every week and you don't wanna miss it. My name is Matt Theriault. I am CEO of Epic Real Estate, where we show people how to invest in real estate with an emphasis on retiring early. And one of the methods that I use and share with my clients to really speed up the process and significantly reduce the amount of money that they need to build massive amounts of passive income from real estate so they can retire is to present sellers with creative offers. Now, a creative offer, it's not necessarily the opposite, but it's very different than a conventional offer, meaning rather than paying for a property with, money as you would conventionally, you're paying with an idea creatively. And there are many different types of ideas from which to choose in real estate, and those ideas in our world are what we call terms. And I've got a list of 21 of them and 10 deal structure templates that I give to my students, I give to my clients as cheat sheets. And I'll give you a copy of them when we're all done. If you get this part wrong, you're not gonna do as many deals as you could, because quick cash offers, it doesn't fix every seller problem. Your risk is also going to be greater should you inadvertently overpay for a property, because it happens. And you're gonna just flat out need more money to buy the real estate. But if you get it right, your deal volume is gonna be greater because you've got more solutions in your toolbox. Cash flow is gonna be much easier to create. If you ever want to be free, you need cash flow. And you're gonna need less money to build your cash flowing portfolio of doing it this way. And because you'll need less money, you'll have less money at risk. Creative offers also can just be a natural hedge against inflation. And that's a big invisible benefit considering the massive stimulus packages that are being deployed this year. That's gonna be a big benefit. Down the road, you're gonna be really grateful for this. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you're gonna have more options. And options equals freedom. Here's how it works. As real estate investors, we purchase property in one of two ways, either by our price in the seller's terms or our terms in the seller's price. As long as we can control one of those, we can always create a deal for ourselves. They work hand in hand, like this. You see, if we've got this axis, okay? We have this axis, looks like this. Our vertical line is the price, and the horizontal line represents the terms. The higher the price, the longer the terms. That's how they work hand in hand, meaning the more money that I'm gonna pay for this house, the longer I'm gonna take to pay for it. And then the lower the price, the shorter the term. As an example, if you have your low ball, all cash offer right here, this low ball is the price, the all cash fast is the terms, all right? So if the seller were to reject your lowball all fast cash offer like they normally do, then you would pay more and you'd give them some money now and then you'd give them the rest later. With a list of terms like these, you can get really creative with what later looks like. Later could be a traditional amortized loan. It could be fluctuating interest rates. It could be no interest at all, or it could be all interest to reduce the payment and maximize cash flow. It could be short-term payments with a balloon at the end. Could be mid-term with multiple balloon payments. It could be a super long-term until it's paid off. It could be an undefined time based on the sale or the refinance of the property. Later could look like no payments at all and a profit share with the seller when the property is sold or refinanced. Or the payback could be contingent upon the property appraising for a certain amount at a later date. You get the point, I think, right? I could do this all day long, as there's no limit to how you can incorporate these terms into your deals to pay for property. As long as you can control the price or the terms, you can always make a deal for yourself. For example, would you pay $200,000 for this $100,000 house? Maybe. It depends. If you can control the terms, why not? Over a 30-year period, with a traditional amortized loan, you're gonna pay more than the $200,000 anyway. If you gave the seller, say, $10,000 down payment, and then if you paid the rest, divided into 400 equal monthly payments, that'd be a good deal, wouldn't it? Yeah, of course it would. That'd be a smoking deal. It'd beat the hell out of a 30-year traditional amortized loan. Now, how do you get a seller to go for something like that? Well, first thing, this is not a silver bullet. You know, just like your fast all-cash discount offers, most sellers will not be open to them. But between the two, with a strong price offer or a strong terms offer, you've at least doubled your chances to get the deal done. You will get more deals done. So with that said, there still has to be motivation on the seller's part, because the foundation of every deal, every real deal, lies within the seller's motivation to sell. You still need motivation. But with these types of creative offers, what you do is you open up the seller pool a little bit, because you don't necessarily need distress to be the motivation. The seller might have no personal or financial struggles at all, but they want to maximize their return by selling over time, or they actually want the monthly income, or maybe they want to mitigate their tax liability by taking their money over time. You see, with creative offers, there are additional types of motivations to play with. You're no longer looking for people in financial or personal ruin to get a deal for yourself. The seller pool, it opens up if you know how to present it. And I'll get there in a second. Now, the second thing is, don't skip steps, because you still need to build rapport. You need to build trust. You need to be likable. The seller needs to feel like you're competent and you're on their side to help them solve their problem. A shortcut to doing this is by making the market the bad guy. And it might sound something like this: Mr. Seller, I would love to get you your price as long as the market will allow it. So be on the side of the seller, team up with the seller, and together, fight the market to create a win-win outcome for you both. Third thing, you gotta ask for it. And this is where it can all come just crumbling down if you don't do it right. Now, there's probably many ways to do this, but I'm gonna show you what works for me. When I'm buying a house, I still prefer the deep equity position. I go for that first. But if the seller and I don't come to an agreement down here, I'll then ask them, well, if I were to give you your price, if I were to come up a little bit, how much do you need right now? So the seller will typically look at me a little puzzled, and they'll be like, what do you mean, they ask. Well, if I were willing to meet you at your price, how much would you need right now if I could pay the rest later? Well, how later? And then you might say, well, how many payments would you be willing to break it up into? And you go from there until you're both happy. One last tip with this: when you are negotiating the final price and terms, do your best to always keep at least two balls in play. Like if they ask for more money, then you ask for an additional term, and vice versa. Like, Mr. Seller, if I were willing to adjust the price for you, what would you be willing to do on the interest rate for me? If your negotiation gets reduced down to just one factor, there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. So keep two balls in play at all times, at least two, so you both can win. If you'd like to go deeper with this and grab this list of these 21 terms and these 10 creative financing deal structure templates, go to epicbreakthrough.com, and it's yours, my gift to you. And I'm curious, what did you find most impactful with all of this? Share with me in the comments below. And who do you know that might also find this video valuable? When that person comes to mind, please share it with them. I'll see you next time on the Epic Real Estate Investing Show.